All right, welcome everybody to Media Day for the 2014-15 Detroit Waza Flo. We're excited about the upcoming season. There are a lot. I think the only things is the same from last year. The field is still 200 by 85, and the nets are still 14 by 8. But other than that, a lot of changes. Brand new league, a lot of excitement for Waza. And let's start off with a little video to show you what we're all about.
Growing up with my brothers, Mario and Valentino, we developed a love for soccer that grew more than I could have ever imagined. We were known as the Cicluna Brothers. Mario, Tino, and myself actually experimented with breakdancing, and we ended up becoming some of the first breakdancers that swept across Detroit. And we had to take this b-boy soccer breakdance style and turn it into an art form we call Waza. Soccer has been in our family for years and years. Our family brought the game over from the island of Malta. Our Uncle Paul Cicluna was one of the owners of the Detroit Rockers. I've been very fortunate to have traveled all around the world studying, developing, and playing soccer, which is the sport that I love more than anything in the world. I always come back to my roots, which is Detroit, the Motor City. Now, I know a bunch of you out there have your preset judgments on what Detroit is based on what you hear through the media all the time. But I want you to know something, that Detroit is a blue-collar, hard-working, passionate group of creative guys that scrap, work, grind, and do exactly what it takes to actually get the win. You guys need to understand what Waza means, which Waza in the Japanese language, it means technique. And in Swahili, it means to think clearly. Now, we have this quest to be champions in this MASL. And we have to face teams like Baltimore, Rochester, St. Louis, Chicago. Now, we know that there's some teams that are supposed to be better teams than ourselves. You know, there's other owners that have twice, 3, 4 times the amount of money that we have. We've been the underdog in this role almost the entire time we've been in this league. All you adversaries out there are the very thing that we need to actually rise to this championship. Detroit has all these different sports, but now we have this professional arena soccer team. It's the Detroit Waza Flo. Me and Coach Deku, Coach Miracle, and all the fellas have decided to make this huge commitment and put our heart, mind, and body and soul to help bring championship to Detroit and make these fans proud of this city that we belong to.
Dominic Cicluna, Michael Gerber, Victor Otieno, Costa Deku. Come see your Detroit Waza in action as they make another playoff run. Don't miss out on any of the fast-paced pro arena soccer action. For season or single game tickets, go to DetroitWaza.com.
Nice promo, guys. Why is this guy not doing play-by-play? He's better than I am. I wish I had a voice like that. I didn't introduce myself. I'm Rich Kincaid. I am the voice of the Waza. And I got to say, I love this game. You know, I was a hockey announcer by trade. And probably the first half a season, and maybe bleeding into the second season, I would catch myself almost every night saying at least once, the puck, instead of, the ball, right? It just took me a while. There are a lot of similarities. You change on the fly. There are power plays. You can have a scoring chance at both ends in a 10-second span, maybe less. It's an extremely exciting game. And I have found myself more than once up there in the booth saying to myself, did I just see that? And the footwork is amazing. The skill level is amazing. That's why I think people should, come on out and see this, because we've got it right here in town. Now I want to introduce our panel, and it's next to the end is Michael Gerber. Michael, welcome. Good to have you here today. The guy. Oh, this is the name I'm going to have to learn. Alarge Joby. Did I get it? Was I close?
Close enough.
We'll get it. It won't take me as long to learn your name as it took me to forget calling it a puck, okay? My favorite name in the league, Victor Otieno. The phonetics on that are just 4 letters. O-T-N-O. If you just say that, you said it perfectly. Love that guy. Dominic Cicluna, Mr. Soccer here in Detroit. Great to have him with us. His brother Mario. You heard all about these guys in the video. Costa Deku, the Count. One of the best defenders in the history of the indoor game. I like to think of him as our Nick Lidstrom, an amazing soccer player, and now this season taking over as coach as well. So I think that's going to be great. It's going to be remarkable. And Giuliano Mirko joining us from Italy, and he'll be assisting on the coaching as well. welcome everybody. And Dominic, let's just start with you. And we actually, in a moment or two, we want to introduce the other players. Who are the guys that I missed at both ends?
Erwin, want to tell them who you are?
Erwin Cruz,
And where are
welcome
you
to
from?
Detroit.
Coming from El Salvador, but was born in Chicago.
Oh, okay, there we go. And I'm sorry, at the other end?
I'm Armando Giovanni Tello. I'm from Chicago, Illinois.
All right, very good. You know, that's one thing too. When you look at this group, I was thinking about it. We have players on this team representing 4 continents, and we're bringing all these guys together to make a team. But there are players from Europe, Italy, Central America, North America, Stevenson High School, right there in Livonia. So I mean, it's a diverse group, an interesting group, and we've seen in the past a highly skilled group. 15-10 last year. A little bit of a disappointment after the season before when the Waza made it all the way to the championship game in the Ron Newman Cup and were tied in the fourth quarter of the championship game before losing by 2. But also the same season, the year before, that Waza won the U.S. Open Cup. Probably the greatest moment in the history of the franchise, as a matter of fact. So this is a team, I think, and Dominic, correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is a team that is on the cusp of returning to that glory.
Yes, well, we have, like you said, we have this League of Nations. We have all these different countries, and I was actually thinking about it today. The fact that you have all these different styles blended here, right here in Detroit, it makes not only the sport itself that is super exciting. I mean, we are a hockey town. We love our football, baseball, all the different sports, but this group of unique guys, actually, they bring a style that many people aren't familiar with. So taking all these people and the fact that, you know, the Romanian coach Deku and the Italian coach Mirko, those guys helping stir the pot, so to speak, it takes a unique soul and a unique person to actually blend these different, you know, cultures together into one. It's not always smooth at practice, and sometimes these guys get quite passionate and intense, and including myself, which is why I have to have somebody like Deku and Mirko there to help balance out this equation.
Dominic, what do you think, brand new league, the Major Arena Soccer League, brand new division, and 3 opponents, as we saw in the video, 3 opponents in your division that you've never seen before? How difficult, what kind of a challenge is that?
Well, the MASL is an offshoot of leagues that have actually been around since the 1980s. So before the MLS, you know, there was arena soccer, and before that there was, you know, the Detroit Express that existed back in the day. Well, this league, you could actually say, is just an offshoot of all those leagues that transformed over time. So here it is, 2014. And we've had a huge merger of what is called the MISL and the league that we were a part of, the PASL. The blending of the 2 leagues is now called the MASL, the Major Arena Soccer League. And it is actually the largest arena league in the history of North America. With this, obviously, you know, we're dealing with people that have very big budgets, and we're just a small family-owned operation, so the challenges ahead of us are actually quite large.
Costa Deku, new responsibilities as the coach as well as being a player. How will coaching affect your minutes, the amount of time that you play?
I think that's a simple question because as a coach, I can put myself in the lineup. It's not going to affect that much, huh? Well, it's like my new job, an old job. I also coach in the past with Dominic, and we just going back to that formula. You know, we had good success in the past, and hopefully we can renew that.
Tell me about your club this year. You've got a good core coming back. Your top 3 scorers, you, by the way, were number 2 on the team in scoring last year. You've got your top scorers coming back, as we say, a good core group, but plenty of new faces as well, and including a brand new goaltender. Tell us about your team.
Well, you know, I'm pretty confident with what we have. It's a matter of get them as fit as possible and make them understand that, you know, it's a mental game also. Sometimes it's a game of inches. You know, if you have a strong character, it's for one shot or one block, or, you know, it can go either way, the game. So we are trying to build that mentality to go one game at a time, you know. just win one game, and then we're going to take care of the next. Just build a house brick by brick, basically. We're not thinking about championship, that's far away, but we are thinking about winning every single ball and every single game.
There we go. When I was looking at the schedule, it looked to me like there's one game a week. 18 of your 20 games are on Saturday nights. I believe there's one Sunday matinee, the last game of the season, and there may be a Friday night thrown in there. Everything else, though, is on Saturday. So it won't be a situation, as it has been in years past, where you maybe play at home on Friday and then have to travel down to Cincinnati or go to Chicago or Cleveland or who knows where to play a game the following night. How is that going to affect things?
Well, we're trying to accommodate everybody, which it means we are trying to leave Friday when we're going to play, let's say, doubleheader Saturday. We don't like to travel all day Saturday, and then just jump on the field and play like in the past. So what we're going to do now, we're going to travel Friday. When we have doubleheader, we're going to stay Saturday night at close to that arena at the hotel in that location, and then we're going to move on to the next one, which is the most is going to be 4 hours travel. So it's not that bad. We are trying to adjust that.
There we go. Well, I would think that would be an improvement and something that should result in better soccer for the fans.
Well, I know something, everything is on the details at this level because all the teams, they should be pretty good, and we got to control the controllables.
Mm-hmm. Mirko, what's your role in terms of the coaching staff here?
Well, basically I'm the trainer in the field during the practice, during the week. So Deco and Dominic, they are still playing, so they prefer that I run the practice during the week, and I do like new stuff, new energy, new face. Probably after some years, this team needed like something new, no? And that's what I'm doing basically. I'm still learning some stuff about the sport because I played just like 11 in Italy so many years, so it's everything new for me. I saw several games last year. I really like the intensity, like the speed, really the aggressivity I saw in those games. So I started to be very passionate about the sport. That is always soccer, but it's a little bit different than the big soccer 11.
If anyone's got a question, just raise your hand and I'll recognize you. But otherwise, I'll just continue. Oh, is that a hand raised? It is. Very good.
Kelly from Detroit Local 4 WDIV. I was wondering how you feel that you face up against some of the new teams in the division. I mean, you've seen Baltimore and Milwaukee, and just wondering what your thoughts are on that for this year.
Another question for me? Go ahead. Well, I mean, new teams. The way I see it, we're going to take everybody on, and we'll see how it's going when we're going to come at the game time. Now, we already know some of the teams are really dangerous, If we're going to let them play, they can hurt us. Yes, we are aware of that. But on the other hand, I believe in my group, and you know what? We're going to go and fight. We'll see the outcome.
The thing I was really encouraged by when I walked in, I hadn't seen Dominic since last spring when the season ended. His hair's looking great. He's like Samson. The better the hair, the better the player. So I think that's an encouraging sign. Michael, when we talk about all these players from around the world coming together, could you talk a little bit about the different, because I guess I'm not that familiar with it, but when we talk about different styles of play, what does that mean?
Well, I guess it's Waza style.
There we go.
And yeah, because it's such an international group, it's mixed. There's flair and there's some gangster in it. The team, the atmosphere this preseason has been fantastic. This is my 4th season here, and all 3 years we made the playoffs. I've lost 2 finals, won the cup here, and I could say that this preseason has been the best to date. The first year I was here, Deku and Dominic were co-coaches, and we made it to the final. But I'd like to say again, the atmosphere in preseason this year has been fantastic, and we sort of have a unity. And with the League of Nations, as you can see here,
right,
it's very diverse.
Right. I don't want to blaspheme, but I'm just going to be straight out with everybody. I like the indoor game better than the outdoor game. I was watching those World Cup games over the summer, and entertaining, no doubt about it. But one of the reasons I was watching, I was listening to the play-by-play announcers. These are the best guys in the world, right? Maybe I can learn a trick or two from them. But what you heard was it'd be Cicluna, Gerber, shot sails over the net, throw in, Cicluna, Deku. That won't work here. You know, there's just too much action going on out there. I just wondered, Michael, how do you compare the two games?
Outdoor and indoor?
Yeah.
Indoors, fast-paced, high-scoring, and yeah, it's brutal for those that think that soccer is a soft sport. I promise you not. Yeah, I'm in pain half the year. So.
Right. Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's the thing from my vantage point. I mean, I'm not more than, 10, 15 feet from the field.
Yeah.
And sometimes I not only see the collisions, I hear them. So, I mean, I know,
If you like hockey, you like soccer.
Yeah.
You're going to
Yeah.
like indoor.
Absolutely. No, it's a terrific game, Dominic.
Rich, you said something about watching those World Cup games, and I know there's quite a few fans out there that don't watch or follow soccer because they see the fouls or the non-fouls in the World Cup. I assure you, the fouls that you'll see at these arena games are actual fouls that actually, I can remember the team I was playing against 3 weeks later. So anybody that likes hard-hitting soccer, I encourage everybody to come on out or if you're not going to get to the game, they can watch us online live.
Absolutely, on GoLiveSportscast.com. Thank you very much. In fact, all games this year in the Major Arena Soccer League will be available on GoLiveSportscast.com. So that'll be nice for you guys now that I think about it. You'll have a chance to scout your opponents in advance just by watching the games. That should work out nicely. As I mentioned before, what you see, well, let's talk a little bit about the rule changes, I guess is where we're going with this. Tackling is allowed again, sort of, because you can still get a penalty for a sliding tackle. How's that going to change things?
Yes, we've met with a lot of the owners. We took a lot of votes. It went back and forth. It's never easy when two different organizations come together to merge into one super league or the Major Arena Soccer League. So we've gone back and forth many times of which exact rules we're going to do. Slide tackling has been allowed traditionally in some of the original leagues, and it's now back in our league. So it's a matter of sliding was allowed, but no slide tackling. So there's still a slight variance for referee discretion, but the physicality of the game, it's very high paced, very physical, and it ratchets up that ability to play and go 100%.
You've gotten a little feisty out there once or twice, as I recall. This is going to be good for your game.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's going to be, it just raises the level. You have to be technical, you have to be physical, high scoring, and you just also have to be careful. You can't go in half stepping, or else you're going to get hurt. So you got to go 100% every time to make sure that you win the ball and the ball bounces our way.
There we go. Where's this team going to rank in this new East Division?
We'll see on Saturday.
Well, we'll start to see on Saturday. That's kind of the funny thing. Harrisburg, I believe that's the only team in the division that this team has seen before that was in the PASL last year in this division.
Yeah, from all the talk on the social media.
Always a good source.
Yes, the ranking is all the MISL teams, I think, have already ranked themselves at the top, rightfully so, and the rest of us are out here to prove ourselves.
Oh, there's that sort of thing going on.
Yes, that's what is going on.
Really? Now that's an interesting dynamic. This will be like the old American Football League trying to beat the old NFL in the Super Bowl, right? Nobody thought the Jets were going to beat the Baltimore Colts in Super Bowl III, and they killed them. I mean, that should be a little motivation for everybody. That should be some fun.
Yeah, well, that's why being an underdog is actually a safe and wonderful and a great challenge for us to start the season.
There we go. Victor, how excited are you to get things going again?
Say that again.
How excited are you to get things going again? How excited are you for Saturday night?
I'm just messing with you.
No.
He's going to be on the bench.
All the team. Well,
I'm very excited for this year, like Mike said, it's been a great preseason. Like the team, everybody's been working together. Like the 3 years I played in the team, 2 years I was in school, so I wasn't able to get involved with the team like during the preseason training. Just like when you have like 1 or 2 months preparation before the game, it makes a big difference. And the attitude, the mentality of everybody, you could just see, like everybody just wants, everybody gives in an extra effort. People come in early. there's that family that is developing. Obviously, like, when everybody's working hard, people are always going to collide. Nobody's ever going to agree with you, you know? But it's like a learning and developing process. So, personally, I have high expectations for myself. I've always had, and it's a big challenge for me. But then for the team too, so the better that I can come out and perform and produce, just for me and every Waza kid, every kid out there and in Africa, I think we're gonna do great.
I got to tell you something. Driving around town just this summer, I stopped at stoplights, had to be a dozen times, where I'd see a sticker on the back of a vehicle, Waza FC. I've been in stores, I've seen people wearing Waza shirts, Waza sweatshirts. It's just been great. I know, Dominic, it's been a slow process, but just from my own observation, it looks like it's finally starting to catch on.
Yeah, well, it's an underground movement, and
There we go.
I call it a movement because just like in hip-hop or Motown, the Motor City, everything, you know, the Pistons, the Red Wings, the Tigers, they all started small. And we're a family-run operation with guys that are extremely thankful and willing to play through some pretty challenging conditions. The Waza Youth Club is something that we use to motivate the children to overcome their obstacles. And not all of us have been, you know, born with, what is it? They say silver spoon, but I would say gold spoon. Some of us never even had a bronze spoon, and Victor might not even have had a spoon. However, we use this team to actually improve our situations and improve the family and to give opportunity. We brought Victor here from Kenya. I mean, Victor was very smart and intelligent. Out of about 1,000 people, he was chosen. And he was playing for the national team at the time in Kenya. So he went from his village to playing on a national team to coming here, getting a scholarship. So Waza's not only just a youth soccer club, but this team is not just for Waza, I want to put out there, because we're ambassadors. We're people that are doing this for the sport itself. We lift up every kid from every club that's good enough to play here. We lift up the coaches. We want the kids to look up to the coaches. Some nowadays, with the economy and with the way life is and how hard people have to work and the hours, the long hours, the soccer coaches or the sport coaches in general are the role models. We even spend more time around the kids than sometimes their parents do. So it's really important to provide an opportunity like this that gets overlooked often when you don't have the big money, to provide an opportunity for not only for this team to just fulfill our dreams, but to have a team in town that provides an opportunity for the kids to fulfill theirs.
Have you had any of these kids yet move on, graduate to go play high school soccer, college soccer? How close are you to having one of these kids graduate to become a member of the Waza?
That's already happened numerous times. And that's why we're continuing to reach out to the community to come and support these guys, because they're worth supporting.
There we go. All right. Costa, how'd you get the nickname The Count? I've always wondered, I've been meaning to ask, and I never have.
All right, so I came from Romania. Actually, I came from Transylvania. My mom's house, it's like 600 yards from the castle. I'm not kidding. So that's the reality. So I guess it's easy to associate my name with the Count, you know? So that's the story. I'm from Transylvania.
Count.
I can even do like the Count, you know, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, and the count goes perfectly with him, because you know it's hard to count the amount of goals he scores in a season.
Now you stole my line. I figured that's where that was coming from, because those numbers they tend to get up there pretty well. Most important position on the field in this sport is goaltender. I mean, that's just the nature of the beast. You've got to have a guy out there that's going to keep the ball out of the net. You've got new tenders this year, Costa. What can you tell us about them?
Well, yes, we do have like 3 new goalkeepers. The one played with us 1 year, Vito Lonigro. He was all-league first team in his year when he played. He's back after 2 years, was injured, you know, got some personal problems. Now he's back finally with us, and then, you know, we believe in our guys. The second one is Matteo, is same country like Mirko Gubellini, the Italian goalkeeper. He's the first in our league. I think We never had in our league an Italian player or an goalkeeper. So that's number two. And also we have one guy, Sasha, local guy. He wants to play, big desire. So we're going to count in all three, and hopefully the best, he's going to play and he's going to help the team.
We talked a little bit about some of the new rules going into effect. The one that kind of jumped out at me was the rule on the goaltender not being able to throw or kick the ball over 3 lines. If he does, then they're going to come back and have a free kick right there at the a shootout kick right at the yellow line. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, as a matter of fact, no one on the field is allowed to do 3 lines.
Okay.
Not the goalie, not the player. So, we're going to play by the rules, no problem. The rules are the same for everybody. We're going to try to find another way to, to open these guys' defenses. So, there's not a problem for us.
It's not going to cut down on scoring chances.
No, hopefully it's going to increase it.
Oh, okay. Very good. All righty.
We're a technical team, so I think skills is one of our, forte. So hopefully we're gonna take advantage of that.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, guy. Anybody else?
Yeah. A question about the season. You've got more games this season, and how do you think that's going to affect the team?
It was one of the things that we voted on at the board of directors meetings. Different leagues we had 2 different leagues that had 2 different numbers of games. We decided to go with a 10 home game season, 10 home, 10 away, and I think it rounds it out. It's a good number. So, adds a couple extra games to the season, but I think it balances it out, and it will be favorable for us. Gives opportunity for more fans to come and watch a couple extra games and have a good time enjoying it.
Follow-up question is, what's the secret to holding up all season? You've got some veterans on here, you've got some new guys on here. You want to give the new guys any tips?
Well, one of the things that's exciting is that most people have to go and travel all around the world to enjoy some good soccer or good football. Well, we bring the world to our backyard right here in Detroit. So we have some nice veterans with some nice younger players with a lot of potential talent. Hopefully the veterans are able to pass on their knowledge and experience to the upcoming players. And hopefully the new players that are coming on board bring some fresh legs and some good heart and spirit with it. And that mixture can take us to the top.
All right. I think that's it, unless there's anything else. We appreciate everybody coming today. Appreciate you guys coming here. We're going to really appreciate you night after next when you open the season with a win over the Harrisburg Heat, which is right here at the Melvindale Arena. What's game time? I need to know this. 7:05 it is. I'll try to get here by then. All right. Thanks again to all you guys. Good luck for the upcoming season. I know it's going to be exciting. I'm excited to be a small part of it. The main thing is I get to see all the games. It's going to be great. Thanks again, everybody. Thanks for joining us. And again, Saturday, Harrisburg Heat. What is that, November 1st?
Yep.
Okay,
Yes.
Right here in Melvindale. Thanks.
Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, and all the social media. And you can tell friends and family that if you can't make it to the game, you can watch us live. Thank you. The Maltese American, come out in the roommate. I would really like to see the count work.
Serbian twerk dishes. Watch out.